Hello, Massatax here and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at the Tier-8 German premium medium tank, the M48A2 Raumpanzer. And as always, before we get into the action, I'll show you my crew and equipment that I'm currently using on this tank. My crew on this tank aren't too bad, all onto the 4th skill. They are for me Leopard PTA. The equipment that I use in the special mobility slot is vents. Then I've got a gun rammer and vertical stabilizer. I also use the premium consumable food. So let's have a look at it in action. Today I'm playing on Erlenberg. It's an assault mode and I'm the defending team. And I've got the 5-10 matchmaking bottom tier today. And what I want to do is head towards the castle. As I make my way to the castle, I'll tell you what I think about this tank. If anybody that watches this has got this tank, please let us know what you think, because I think it's rubbish. If you're in the market for a premium Tier-8 medium tank, I definitely wouldn't recommend this one. I actually can't think of any Tier-8 medium premium tanks I've got that I don't like playing as much as I don't like this tank. On paper this tank doesn't look too bad, and you've got that shovel on the front of your tank which is spaced armour, strengthen your lower plate, which is a bonus compared to all the other medium tanks, but the armour just doesn't work for me. On the front of the hull you get 152.4mm of armour, and you've got that added spaced armour. On the side you get 76.2mm and on the rear 25.4. Then on the turret you've got 254mm of armour on the turret, but you've got that massive cupola which is a weak spot on the top of your tank, and everybody seems to hit it, as you can see. Then you get 76.2mm on the side, 50.8 on the rear, so nothing special there. When I've taken a penetrating shot, I've had a look at my armour to see where it's actually penetrated at, and lots of times they still penetrate your lower plate, so it's not impenetrable. When I've had a look at the armour profile on this tank, I've noticed if you hit the sides of the shovel and the lower plate, you will bounce them shots, but if they hit you in the middle, they'll just penetrate you. Since this tank is really an American tank, just taken over by the Germans, I've tried to play it like I play American tanks, which are really good hull down, but I really struggle hull down with this, with that cupola. When I had a look at the armour profile, I had a look at the cupola as well, and you basically just get 150mm of armour on that cupola, so anybody can penetrate you. Tier 7s will penetrate you. So you would think, should I play it from a distance, but sniping in it? Your gun dispersion at 0.37 doesn't help for sniping. It's just not built for that. That 0.37 dispersion that I do have with this is with my crew and equipment. Have got a decent crew, brothers in arms, have got vents on this, and I am running food, so you're not going to get it much better than 0.37. But it's not all bad for the gun. The gun actually isn't too bad. It's only the dispersion that is. At the moment I'm doing a half decent job of bouncing shots now. The Raumpanzer 58 has even turned to gold and I'm still bouncing that. So if you can hide the cupola, the turret armour is quite good, but it's just really difficult trying to hide that. Happy to get a nice shot into that 430 there. So I'll tell you about the gun now. You do get a 90mm gun on here, same as you do on most Tier-8 American medium tanks. Snuck a lovely shot again into that 430. With this gun you have 205 penetration with 240 alpha damage. Just pulling back because that Raumpanzer has just penetrated us there. I'm nearly just a one shot for him. He gets a decent roll. So other gun stats, I've got a reload time of 5.99 seconds, which gives us a DPM of 2,400. I've also got an aim time of 1.66 seconds with my crew and equipment, which is quite good. A thing that's nothing special is its shell velocity. It's 972 meters per second, but you do get 9 degrees of gun depression on this tank, which is good. Now we've managed to win the castle area, and I haven't done too bad with me damage assistance and bouncing shots. But what I am going to do is try and snipe a little bit now, since I haven't got any hit points. And there's the first snipe, taking out that artillery. 0.37 wasn't as bad as I was expecting. So I'm going to try and sit at this corner now. I'm going to let my teammates with all the hit points still try and spot for us. On spotting, the view range isn't too bad on this tank. With my crew and equipment, and I'm not running coated optics or binoculars, but I do have my view range to 430 meters. And I haven't yet trained recon on my commander, so there is a good chance that I will get it to the max 440. So I've just fired a blind shot where that Scorpion G was last seen. Doesn't look like he's at the back. There is somebody in the corner. I'll not be able to get shots in from this position, but there's the second artillery, and I've managed to take him out. So I've taken both artilleries. I'm going to just stop in this position for a bit longer. I don't want to be in the open field, because as soon as I'm spotted, I will get taken out. On the mobility on this tank, it's also nothing special. It does feel really sluggish when you play in this tank. You do have a top speed of 40 kilometers an hour going forward. You do get 18 kilometers an hour in reverse, which isn't too bad. But this tank does feel sluggish when you're playing it. I'm not sure why any of my teammates didn't go into the corner and take that tank out. Scored a T50 on my team's actually firing at me for some reason. He's asking for help. He's got a lot more hit points than me. He's sitting in a dodgy position. There's the Scorpion G. Can I get a shot into him? He's behind that building for me. There you are. Snuck one in when he went past into the open. So he's been taken out. That's good. So now I'm going to pay around the back. I think it's the Barask in that corner. If he penetrates us, he will take us out in one shot. Hopefully, with his accuracy, he'll not be able to hit me cupola. And there he is in the bush. Snapshot taken out. 0.37 wasn't bad again. So now I can get on the move. That UDES, the last enemy tank, was on the other side of the map, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get over there, take part in it. He was last spotted on the hill on the east, but I'm not sure when that was. He could have dropped back to Kia Zero, just hide in the bushes, try and snipe us. If I was him, I would push towards our base. If he pushed into the corner on Ear Zero, there's nothing to spot him, and he'd be able to get into our artillery. Looks like we've been into Kia Zero and he wasn't there. There's the cap started, he's in our base. I'm going to turn round, try and head up the streets, straight towards our base. So today's battle in this tank hasn't been too bad. It actually has been the best game I've played in this tank, and especially since I'm bottom tier. I do have a lot more poor games than good games in this tank, but if you get into an MM where you're top tier, and you will meet tier 6 tanks in this, you shouldn't have a bad game against them. I would think the arm would stand up well against tier 6s that really struggle with you. So the last remaining UDES medium tank has fled the cap, ran up the treaty line. So I've pulled onto the river, so if he does pop up I might be able to sneak a shot in at the end of the battle. There he is, he's a one-shotter and he's been taken out, but I couldn't get a shot in any case because he was behind the ridge. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Was a Masters Zeus Tanker Award. We got the Pascucci's medal for destroying 2 artillery, and the Steel Wall, which have got to receive the most hits, at least 11 of any other player on your team, with potential damage of at least 1,000 hit points, and survive. We bounced 2,240 potential damage. We also had 1,861 assisting and 2,802 damage. Top of the tree for XP with a base XP of 1,302. Second for damage, we made 167,000 credits, that's due to battle payments, plus a personal reserve bonus. We got 5,078 XP, that's due to playing a premium vehicle, a personal reserve bonus, and an award for the first victory each day, which was at ×2. I'd like to thank you for watching today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs buttons for that. If you've got this tank, please let us know what you think about it in the comment section below. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. There's a little icon in the bottom right hand corner. Cheers.